Hello, my name's Andy. Welcome to episode 57 of Keeping Water. In this week's episode, I'm going to give a little indication of how the carp's health is progressing. As a hint, they're better, but not 100%. After that, I'll be revealing what I found during the search for the incredible disappearing carp. And after that, I'll show you a glimpse of the fry, which certainly seem to be growing and successfully evading larger, greedier fish, and also me with the pond vac. Aside from the carp not being completely healthy, it's been a good week in the pond. I've been able to get some good underwater filming done, which hasn't been possible lately due to multiple treatments reducing visibility, and as I said, the fry are doing well, and the larger rudd seem to be growing rapidly too. Over the next week, I'm going to be tinkering a little with the filters, adding a grate to the first static chamber to hopefully improve its capturing of waste, and making a more rigid container for the media in the moving bed to hopefully improve its movement. All of that will be in episode 58 next week. Finally, I'd like to thank my new subscribers. It's been a good week for me again, and also thanks to you lovely people who keep coming back to watch, like and comment. If you've not already, please click on the subscribe button. I release main videos weekly, as well as clip or long clip videos most weeks too. My channel is a little different from most pond keeping channels. Whether that's a good thing is for others to judge, but I like to think there'll be something of interest for most people, regardless of what is your own particular favourite type of pond or fish keeping. Right, so let's start this episode by taking a look at the carp and maybe a small amount of progress. Hopefully. The carp have been experiencing less than perfect health for some time now, which started as a probable parasite infection and has annoyingly lingered and changed in presentation over time. Throughout, aside from some flashing and jumping in the initial couple of weeks, the carp have appeared pretty unbothered really. The latest presentation, which you can see in these clips, have been largest white patches on the common carp and two white, more circular patches on the mirror, which also has a scratch or two, probably from the initial flashing. Over the last couple of weeks, I've repeated 2 treatments of the anti-parasite medicine, after which I've planned to leave them for a couple of weeks before making a decision of what to do next. However, with more underwater filming being done, I've obviously been able to see if the treatments have had any effect, clips of which are coming up soon. As I think you can see, the patches on the common have faded a little and reduced in number, although it possibly still has some excess mucus. The 2 spots on the mirror, I think, have also reduced in size and began healing. It had a similar mark last year, which took about 6 weeks to go completely. Now, this could mean they're getting better, and they just need time to heal and recover. Equally, things could worsen or change without them ever completely getting better. My plan, however, remains to give them some more time, keep videoing and assessing whether they're continuing to improve, however slowly, but take action if this progress stalls for too long or reverses. Fish keeping, eh? So, if you've watched my previous episodes, specifically episode 49, you'll know that I briefly had some crucian carp in the pond, but eventually, for a variety of reasons, decided it was best to move them on, which I did. Except that it didn't go entirely to plan. I successfully managed to net all 3 of the crucians and get them into a temporary tank, and then into a bag to transport them, after which they went off to their new home, where they wouldn't have to deal with bullying common carp. But there was just one problem with all of that. There wasn't 3, there were 4 crucian carp, and even after an hour of searching on the day of the move, I couldn't find the remaining fish, let alone net it. So, on the day, I ran out of time and had to give up, planning to net it at a later date and move it on separately. Except, I haven't really seen it. I think I might have possibly, maybe, conceivably seen it once, about 2 weeks after, but from above, the crucians did look quite like the rudd, so I couldn't be totally sure. As I mentioned earlier, I haven't done too much underwater filming lately, so didn't have much of a chance of spotting it. Plus, 3 of the crucians had become quite nervous prior to moving them on, so the likelihood would be that a lone one would hide even more. Therefore, over the last week, I've been actively searching for it, using an extended selfie stick and the GoPro to look behind pipes, the pump, and into spaces it might be loitering in. I also placed the GoPro statically a number of times in a number of positions that I thought it might frequent, however briefly. The following excerpts are the results from that search. So, about 15 hours of GoPro footage captured and studied and re-watched, and the conclusion is not a bloody clue. No single solitary sight of it, which obviously makes me think about what might have happened. I think there's 3 possibilities. It was eaten by a predator, it died and was eaten by the other fish, or it's alive and still somewhere in the pond. I don't think a predator has taken it. It seems unlikely that it was the only fish to be taken from a pond where there are many more fish who spend far longer at the surface. I think it dying, either from ill health or from more bullying and then being eaten, is pretty likely, although I do still think it's possible that it's alive and I've just not found it yet. I mean, I've had tench hide in the pond for weeks, unseen from the side or via a GoPro. There's folds in the line where it could hide itself, and it was a pretty small fish. So I'll keep looking, and I'll let you know when or if I ever find it. Let me know what you think might have happened to it down in the comment section below. Right, here's something more positive. A quick look at the fry. There definitely seems to be as many, if not even more, than I counted the other week, and unless I'm seeing things, they look a little bigger too. Well, at least some of them do. Overall, they're doing well. Looking for and finding, so it seems, food, appear instinctively aware of where the safest parts of the pond are, and have a nice scatter reflex whenever the carp come near. There'll be more about the fry over the coming weeks and months, and hopefully into 2022. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Keeping Water. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more, comment if you have some advice, feedback, or just want to chat. And finally, please share it and the channel, as that will really help me reach more viewers and keep things moving forward. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.